Nathan, Joanne, what's going on? Who else is booked for Vegas already? Big hands, yeah. Yeah, awesome.
Haven't got the air flight yet or the hotel, but we've got the most important part, the VIP ticket.
Oh, that VIP is going to be amazing.
I was right between the two. General VIP, I'm sitting there looking at my credit card. I almost did. I went, no, friggin' do it. So I just did it.
Yes.
Jack's
faith over fear, guys. Faith over fear.
That was exactly what I did too. As soon as I saw what was available under the VIP thing, I was like, I got to do it. I have to.
I got on the webinar and I heard them give the website, and I thought, okay, I'm not freaking missing this one, and so I got in there.
Awesome, Ange. Awesome. And hey, when you know what, I'll get you to talk about this in a sec here, Ange. You don't mind? I'm going to bring you out in a second here, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So, way to go, everybody! Thanks for popping on. Who has some victories that they would like to share? We've got victories. Who's got victories? Yan wants to talk, but his mouth is full of food. Chris McNeil.
I was just gonna say, I think Daryl Thompson's got a victory, but he told me he doesn't have a microphone or video yet. I don't know if he's messaging me privately here, but I just got him set up on his webpage finally. So we just spent the past couple hours working on that together. So he's up and running.
Awesome. Way to go. Way to go. Nathan, did your daily go live for the Magic today. That's awesome. Way to go. Who else is a victory to share? We're officially 1 week into March. Third month of 2018.
Kevin, do you know that I have the water hooked up now?
Yes.
Okay.
Congratulations.
You guys, I've been on 3 weeks with that, so that's exciting.
Awesome. Hey, so tell us, you've gone this long without it. Now you've had it for 3 weeks. How's the experience been?
Energy. I have so much more energy. My mom's like, it doesn't work that fast. I was like, yeah, it does. It does work that fast. I have a lot more energy now. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And are your parents drinking from it as well?
My mom is. My dad, I'm not even going to bother with, like, honestly, like, I got him this far with it. It's like, I'm not going to push him. But my mom is. My mom drinks it, and she's like, she forgot it. And she's like, oh, I have to drink Poland Springs. I was like, I'm sorry, you're drinking cancer, but it's okay. You'll drink your clean water when you get home.
Awesome.
So, yeah, she's drinking it.
Good to hear, guys. Good to hear. And just a note, guys, we'll make sure that we are off by 7:30 PST because the product friends and family webinar that Balaj is hosting is on tonight, 7:30 PST. So we want to make sure that you guys have a chance to get on there with Balaj and Dr. Michael. Last time it was a screaming success when they went over that information. So, guys, I had a conversation here. Actually, I've had a ton of conversations over the last couple of days because we had somebody that has joined the team and they're really excited and so they're well networked and talking to some other people about the product. We really understand that while we can market anything we want, and we can market anything that makes money, we chose a Nagic, and a Nagic is such a phenomenal offer and campaign, not only because it allows all of us to make a ton of money for making sales online, but it truly adds value to people's lives, like in an incredible way when it comes to their health. There literally is nothing out there like it, and it's amazing. I've been involved with GAZ here for 1.5 years, and I've had the product for 1.5 years, and my belief continues to go up about the benefits of the product, which is amazing. Use it every day, drink it every day, shower every day. Obviously, shower most days. I shower, and it's just, it really is that life changing. It is amazing. So, anyways, making sure that you all know about that webinar tonight. So make sure you pop on. If you aren't, message somebody in the group and say, hey, can I get added to that group? And it's just purely product info, nothing about business at all, and just the verifying that it is a world-class product. So thanks, everybody. Welcome, Daryl. Daryl, you're pumped, you're vibrating. Hey, I love it, Daryl. Way to go, man. Who else has a victory they'd like to share from the last 7 days? Still waiting. Somebody's got to speak up. I'm going to wait until we get a victory. One last victory.
I got my ticket to Vegas.
Well, Chris, that's a great victory.
I know
that you're going to go. You're amazing. You're committed. Chris, you're so amazing and dedicated. Yeah,
I need
it blows
to
my mind.
talk to my parents. They gave me a look of sadness and disappointment when they saw that I paid the money.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, one last victory. Let's hear from somebody that hasn't spoken. I'm looking right at you. Looking right at you.
Actually, you're not in my camera. You're not looking at me, so I didn't know. You're looking off over there. That's funny. Yeah, so I'm getting back in the game here, and although I've been a real slow start, I start off with a bit of a bang because Tammy actually is my first personally enrolled person, and she is a freaking awesome person, leader, star. So I super appreciate, Tammy, for what you're doing with your team and my team, you know, the people that come in my lanes. It's super appreciated. But I am getting going, and today I actually, you know, once I start a vibration and a intention and start focusing on something, things start to happen in my life, and I start to get ideas about who I should go see, what's going on. And I had this idea that I need to see this guy. He's a naturopath in town here. He's a friend of mine from way back when we used to actually be in networking together in a different company. And I ran into his wife about a week and a half ago. We had a good chat in the grocery store. So I made an appointment because I couldn't get in touch with him. So I made an appointment as if I was going to go in and get a treatment or something. And so I presented this idea of using the Kangen water in his naturopath clinic, where he treats many, many, many people. And he is pretty darned excited about adding that to his repertoire of wonderfulness that he provides people with in terms of health. And what's really cool about it is that Byron, like, he gets what we do, and he is that kind of guy. He has a lot of products on his shelf that come from different industry, you know, in the network marketing industry, because of course that industry produces a lot of good quality products. And yeah, so I can just visualize right now exactly what's going to happen, as I told him, like giving his clients water to take home, and they come back for fill-ups, and pretty soon they're like, oh my God, I got to have a machine. And it's going to be a beautiful system for him, and it's going to be very organic. I told him I'd be there to support him all the way through. And tomorrow I'm taking him and his wife some water. His wife has got terrible migraines. That is one thing he's not been able to help her with. And I'm just crossing my fingers after I watched some of the testimonies on the site that Balaj has put together, that it might just do the trick. And I'm pretty hopeful and pretty positive it will, knowing that hydration is a really critical part of healing in the body. So that's exciting. And then we've got another friend, a mutual friend that I connected with tonight too. And he also is very excited, I think, to, well, not I think, I know he's excited to get started, and he already has somebody that wants to get going. So it's been just a crazy day of cool stuff going on as I put the old intention back in the universe.
So, okay, so Ange, that is phenomenal. Obviously, super great news. I was on the phone with Angela for about an hour there, and like my phone was vibrating because she was vibrating on the other end, and it was amazing. So I want to get into this a bit, Ange. Is you were busy with your career. You signed up, some time ago, and you got busy with your career, and then you made a decision, right? Walk us through the process of you coming to that decision. Maybe give everybody a little bit of background. You don't have to go into great detail. And then when you and we talk a lot about the intention and the vibration, and now literally from how long has it been? Maybe 2 or 3 weeks of making that decision, and these things start manifesting. It's incredible. So, Ange, would you mind sharing for everybody, what that was like and what the process looked like and what's happening because of it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool knowing the way that this community does what they do, because it's really what kept me in the game. Even though I love my Kangen water, that's what I fell in love with first. When I found out Jay-Z was a part of it, I was like, that is so cool. I love Facebook marketing. And so being a part of the community just kept me kind of, in the deal. But I wasn't in the deal yet, because I had this career, this professional career as an insurance person. And, I was trying to pretend that I loved it because it was bringing in dollars, but pretty soon it wasn't bringing in the dollars, because really that isn't where my heart is sitting. And when I was sitting there looking at everybody heading out to actually awaken, and I needed to make a decision about that. And usually what I do in my life is I make a decision based on just me, but I have a husband who is very supportive. And this one time I decided I would not do it without his okay. And he was not okay, because we were really tight for cash, even though I could have done it, because I always find a way. And I think that moment of not making that decision and feeling the regret and kind of my God, what did I do to myself? And that was after you and I had talked, Kevin. So I was on the road to getting where I needed to go. But, who is it that talks about a frog making a decision to jump off a fence when there's 3 of them? And how many are left when he makes the decision? That's who I was. I'd made the decision, but I didn't take the action. It might be Michael Burnoff that said that to me. It was, in fact, because I'm one of Michael Burnoff's leaders for one of his courses. So last night, and this could be where the vibration is coming from, actually, because when I found out that Michael Burnoff was actually going to be our keynote speaker that night was that just last night, you guys? Or was it the night before?
2 nights ago.
I was freaking out. I was like, are you kidding me? This is like my guy. He's going to be our keynote speaker. So anyway, just kind of one thing led to another. These signs just kept coming at me. So it's just like, I just sort of let myself flow and go. And I just think, okay, what do I need to do next? And I wanted to connect with people on more of an organic, straight person to person kind of connection, because I knew I had been thinking about Byron for some time. And today, when I finally made the decision, actually yesterday, to make an appointment to go see him, everything started to flow. And then the next thing, his friend pops into my head, our mutual friend. And so then I'm like, okay, I got to phone him. And that happened next. And actually, I ended up having a meeting, speaking of different things that are happening. I ended up having a meeting with a lady that I didn't know previous. I was in her phone contact list. She phoned me about 3 months ago and said, who are you? You're in my list. I'm going to take you out of there if I don't, I want to find out who you are first. So we talked for a while. We connected, started building a bit of a relationship, being entrepreneurs. So I had actually tea with her the other day. So next thing you know, I tell her about the Kangenate, and she goes, oh my God, I would love to own one of those. I've heard of those. I would die for one of those. So every time I turn around, I've got this stuff coming at me. And so I said, yeah, did you know they're a medical device you can get? And she's like, oh my gosh, you're kidding. So I've got more than, what I've already told you about, Kevin, going on, and probably a few more in the making. But yeah, kind of organically through just, relationships. That's kind of where I've started right now. And it's crazy. And one door kind of is closing. Nicely closing. Things are happening that are kind of closing the door. which is allowing the other doors to open. And it's just like showing me that, yes, this is the way. This is where I need to be. This is what I want to do. And I literally wrote down on paper, like, what do I really want at one point? Like, what do I really want? Because I had a couple of things kind of on the go. And it was like, it was obvious that the GAZ, the Enagic business is where at the end of the day I want to be. So when I booked that VIP ticket, it's like, okay, I'm all freaking in now. I need to go for it because I need to make some money to get there. And yeah, it's on its way.
Awesome, Ange. So I want to back up a little bit. I mean, that's an amazing story.
Yep.
When you talk about making a decision and then setting the intent, what does it look like? Because you said you always talked about doing it, but you didn't get off the fence. So what was different this time? Because I want to be very honest with everybody. Is that we all have been in that spot, haven't we? We've all been in a spot where we said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then we sit and we like, oh, and you try and you don't do. So, and yeah, tell us about that.
You know, I think the biggest thing is that I'm an overthinker. So I sort of plan, and that's my tendency. My personality has always been there. And over the years, through my personal development and my journey and different things that I've done and had success with, I've always honestly found that my biggest success comes when I drop from my head to my heart. And that actually, when I was on an online seminar there with Travis Fox, that actually kind of came to me because I hadn't really been doing a lot of personal development. And I'd kind of come away from it getting busy. So it kind of helped me to kind of bring my thinking down to my heart level so I could really, really identify what I wanted. And I got to the point where it was kind of like I don't really care what anybody thinks because I care a lot about what people think. If I was going to give myself one trait, it would be caring about what people think. And I don't put myself out there and I'm not vulnerable in front of people. And I kind of got pissed off at myself and kind of said, I really don't care what anybody thinks. And, you know, Chris, you talk about your mom and dad and, you know, the money and the sort of the disagreement about that. I've had that my whole entrepreneur life from my mom. It never goes away. You know, here I am 56 years old and I'm still worried about what my mom thinks. And rightly so, because she doesn't think very well of what I do and never has. She doesn't get it. And she won't get it. So it's always in my back of my mind. And I think what I really did was just sort of dislocated myself from everybody else and said, what really matters here is me, is myself, my husband, my kids, my grandbabies. And what I do over the next year and a half is going to be the thing that makes the difference. So what do I really want to do? So I just started to really key in on the heart part of it and just really keyed in on what would it look like if I didn't do this? What will it look like if I do this? And what do I really feel good about? And I just drove myself into the feel good part. And I let kind of this other stuff take care of itself. So I'm getting real close to not giving a shit about what anybody thinks, which is a good place for me to be. And it's not that I don't care about any one of you. It's just that I have to really find my way through that because I always care too much about what other people think. Drives me crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And those are chains, right? Like you said, Ange, and by the way, you look amazing. You act amazing. You are amazing. You know, at 56, you are so vibrant and your vibration is on a whole nother level right now.
Oh, yeah.
But when we think about what other people think, it's like, oh, well, they think I'm gonna, you know, I'm doing one of those things. They think I'm a freak. You know, like Chris says, I support you 100%. But, you know, the buts, that's when you know people aren't being genuine, right?
Yeah.
And it's true. We all have people like that in our lives. And we have to tune them out. And when it doesn't mean that we can't still support them. It doesn't mean that we still can't embrace them in our lives and have them in our lives. I was fortunate enough to have a fantastic conversation with Angela Carboni this afternoon, and really talking about people, and both people we work with, people that are in our community, people that are outside our community, and what it means to work with people. And one of the common things that Angela and I shared was that we can't care too much about what other people think, because understand, if somebody is trying to knock you down, it's not about you. And a different way to think about it is, if somebody is saying something that's hurtful, there's a saying, and I believe it's John Maxwell in one of his books, and it's a principle around leadership, and it's understanding that hurting people hurt people. Right? If somebody's saying or doing something to hurt you, it's because they're hurting. They're hurting from something that happened just recently. It's happened now. It's happened in the past. And the reason why they're trying or they've done something to hurt you is because it reflects on something that has hurt them in the past. So it's perhaps it's self-preservation, survival. Perhaps it's something to help protect you. It doesn't, just because they hurt you doesn't mean that they don't care for you. But it's the fact that they've been hurt before and they don't want you to be hurt. I gave an example where full congruency here is there's people that I care about in this team that have looked at using another platform, using a different business. And initially my heart ached. And for those of you who know me, know I don't get emotional very much, and I don't get upset very easily. But I got upset, and it was that knee-jerk reaction. Understand that we cannot control how we feel. Those emotions are built inside of us. But what we allow those things to mean and how we express those feelings are under our control. So when we get hurt, we get that knee-jerk reaction. For a lot of us, it is natural for us to try to lash out and say, hey, I'm hurt, so I'm going to hurt you back. Or I'm hurt, and so I'm going to hurt somebody else. And you lash out in some sort of way, when really, if you had removed the emotion, just like when you give yourself a timeout, say, okay, I need a timeout for like 30 minutes or an hour, or maybe it's a day. And then you start to think back on that situation, you probably would have acted differently, wouldn't you? Say, oh, geez, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have lashed out, or I shouldn't have got angry. And that's where that emotional intelligence and emotional resilience is a real key trait, a quality of leaders. And that's something that Angela Carboni and I had talked about quite in depth today, was when people lash out at you, if they say things, little jabs maybe, and maybe it's somebody that thinks that they've got something better. Maybe they think that you're crazy and you're doing something online. Maybe they think that you'll never succeed. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a jab. Maybe it's a slap in the face, a kick in the stomach, whatever you want to call it. Understand that because they act that way, it doesn't mean that we have to react in the same way. Right? We from a leadership standpoint, we as leaders, every single one of you guys that are on here, anybody that's going to watch, we've got 23 people on here tonight. Every single one of you has the ability to impact other lives in a significant way and create a legacy for yourself, where hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of people have had better lives because they came in contact with you. So govern yourself. And I think it's almost like I see that phrase as somewhat authoritarian, but it is true. Govern yourself accordingly. Govern yourself like a leader would. Ask yourself, if you have a leader in mind, whoever that might be, maybe it's Maybe it's Barack Obama, or maybe it's Donald Trump. Maybe it's Bill Gates. Whoever that leader is. Ask yourself, how would they react in this situation? Would they lash out? Would they expose their emotions so readily? There's something powerful about emotional vulnerability, but on the same side, emotional control. Because we are emotional beings, and if we lash out an instinct, what does that put us the category in? Right? We're the most conscious beings that we know of on the face of the planet. If we allow ourselves to conduct ourselves through instinct and emotion, doesn't that just mean that we have now taken all that consciousness, taken all that evolution, and lower ourselves to the animals that walk on all fours? It's not that they're not intelligent. They're beautiful beings, but they're not as evolved. They're not as developed as we are. So, if somebody is talking about other people, bashing other people, airing their dirty laundry on social media, or maybe to you at a cocktail party, whatever it might be, this is something that I really try to live by. By principle is that poor and broke and unhappy people talk about people. People that are content, they're doing okay for themselves, they talk about events. And then people that are evolved, affluent, intelligent, successful, and wealthy, they just share ideas. They're not concerning themselves with what other people are doing, what they're saying, what their intents are. They're not worried about other people. They're saying, hey, let's talk ideas, because ideas can change the world. Ideas are how innovation moves forward and how our world moves forward. So keep that in mind, guys, when you interact with people, when you look at your social media and you have other people out there. And I'm not saying that our community is perfect, but we can set the example for so many other people by taking the high road and by being the leaders that we know we're capable of. So whether it's good, bad, or whether you think somebody's saying something right or wrong, take the high road, be the role model in the situation. And don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what's being said. Just focus on yourself. Like Angela Dommett here, focus on her intent. She's now putting herself and her goals first. What's amazing is that part of those goals involve other people. We talked about that last week, didn't we? About your goals as they apply to other people in your life. And maybe some of those people don't even exist yet, right? Part of my vision, part of my goals and my intent include my unborn children. All 6 of them. No, I'm just joking. I was seeing if anybody caught that, because anybody that knows my wife, anybody that knows my wife knows that she does not want 6 children. So that's just a joke. But understand that our unborn children, that's part of our vision. It's be able to begin with the end in mind and start projecting those things like Angela has. And God, Angela, I'm so excited for you. What's happening, and it's the power of intent, and it's so amazing when you have that vibration. Raise your hands or comment in the comments if in this first quarter you feel that your vibration has increased, your level of vibration and positivity, if it's gone up. Raise your hand or comment in the chat. Awesome. Okay, great. That's like 80% of the attendees tonight. That's phenomenal. Understand, there is no limit to how high that vibration can get. Right? In terms of quantum physics, if you guys have read Happy Pocket Full of Money, there is no limit to what we can create and what we can manifest. So if you've got, and believe it, there's going to be down days, but the sooner, the more clear and compelling your vision is, the faster you'll get off the floor and bounce back up, and you'll start moving forward again. And that's why having like-minded people, having amazing people to rub shoulders with, to lean on, and to cry on the shoulder if you need to hold hands, that's what we're here for, is because together we are so much more powerful than alone. The power of quantum physics, the power of togetherness, the power of unity. Guys, unity is a huge focus of mine right now, both from the corporate level and in our team, is because when you have unity, then math compounds. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. 1 + 1 = 3. And it's because we are all collaborating. When we vibrate on the same levels, that energy starts to compound. It starts to multiply itself. And amazing things happen when we get on that level. So I am so excited for you, Angela, and Angela Carboni as well, because we had an amazing conversation today. Angela, I really appreciate that conversation today that we had. The sincerity and the authenticity and the passion that you have is it's amazing. I'm grateful to have you as a friend, Ange.
Thank you, Kevin. You're too kind. I'm really grateful for our conversation today too. And the one thing that I'll just say quickly here is about this concept of wondering what people are saying about you, or worrying about other people. I you guys all know I can be reactionary. Let's just be honest, okay? But I found out what my trigger is. So I've spent many years, I spent 7 years working in a prison. You can call me anything you want to call me, basically. And it's really going to kind of flow off me. It doesn't sink in. However, if for some reason you attack my reputation, or if I'm ethical or not, or if I'm working inside integrity, that's when I jump down your throat. So Ian was saying to me, he's like, Hancock, when he's like, call me an asshole one more time, right? This is my trigger. Like, you call me unethical, that's when I'm going to react and jump down your throat. Call me a bitch, I won't even faze me, right? Call me anything else is not going to even faze me. So maybe, like, in finding this out, that is a real win for me, right? Because now I know it. And then now that I'm faced with it, if I ever get faced with it again, I can be like, okay, Angie, just slow down a little bit, right? And don't react. So, but maybe you have something like that. Maybe you have a word or a trigger, or if somebody, accuses you of this kind of a thing, it really, really, just steams you up, right? And then if you realize it and you learn that, and you learn how not to react from now on, and you can just say, okay, thank you for your input. Take care, right? Because now, and Kevin and I discussed this, the moment this person who attacked my integrity, the moment I went back and was like, you fucking bitch, she won. Because she got a reaction out of me, right? This is like a bully, right? The moment you give a bully a reaction, they keep coming, right? So now I know that if in the future I'm ever in this situation again, I can say, thank you for your input, take care, bye-bye. And that's going to drive that person crazy, just for the simple fact that I am not allowing them to get under my skin, right? That's not why you do it. You don't do it to drive them crazy. You do it because it's better for you, right? Don't let people under your skin, because sometimes it's hard to get them out after that, right? So that was just something I just wanted to mention too, because Kevin and I were having a good laugh about that earlier today.
True. And you guys know that Angela doesn't really swear, but she's gonna manifest the shit out of another record-breaking month this month. So she told me what her goal, and boy, it's gonna be pretty impressive. So way to go, Ange. And
Thank you.
she gets to go to Mexico tomorrow, which is awesome too.
Yes.
While we're still in minus whatever it is right now.
It wasn't that cold out today. Come on.
I thought you were already there, Angela. You're not there?
Yeah, I fly out tomorrow morning early. Yeah.
Oh
Chris
my
thought I was
God.
there. She's already.
I know. I'm like, she's gone.
She's like, what are you even doing on this
I'm
webinar?
looking
I
at
thought
your
you were already there.
background and thinking, that doesn't look like Mexico. What the heck?
No, that's still my dingy office here.
Well, have a fun, safe flight.
Yeah.
Have an
Yeah,
unsafe
it's awesome. A fun and safe flight. Yeah, that's
Fun
right.
and
That's
safe.
what she
There we
said.
go. I heard that wrong. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, I'll take lots of pictures and send them back to you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm
So,
going to learn
guys-
a lot too that I'll be bringing back as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, guys, manifestation, vibration. I mean, it is the real deal. It is the real deal where, man, like you look at so many testimonies that we have right now, like just looking at the panels or the attendees we have today, like Dave Barraza, you know, what he's been able to manifest in the last like 3 months, Kyla, the transformation she's had, Melissa, Angela Dama, Angela Carboni, Stephanie, you know, Susanna, Yan, Tammy, like we Chris, Ed. You know, I had a great talk with Ed today as well, man. He got his VIP ticket. You know, this, I'll say that he is a guy that I know is going to be successful. Why? Because I think I've shared the story before. He opted in as a lead. He bought the membership right away, gone through all the training and said, you know what, I cannot absolutely afford this, but guys, I will be back. And of course, what did he think? Hey, great, Ed, sure. But we weren't going to hold our breath. And I think it was 6 months later, Ed comes out. He's, guys, I'm ready to go. And we're like, okay, hey, that's awesome. And then before you know it, Trifecta Papers works in. He's in. And then now, you know, he's following the system. He's getting some marketing up, working on the training. And again, faith over fear. Said, I want to. What were your words, Ed? I want to be and have what the leaders have, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I most likely, like, if for me to be willing to succeed on this company, I had to make sure I be with the big top people. Most likely.
And why do you think that's so important, Ed? You know, explain it in your own words.
Oh man. Well, I mean, it's like I really can't really explain it. It's just what I feel. You know what I mean? It's like the feeling is just outrageous. That like it's everything. It's like fear. It's like happiness. It's like motivating. It's just, you know, the most thing is like for me to be there and then just be involved with all you guys. It's just like, man, I've never done this before, so it's just I'm pumped.
Awesome. And the way the conversation started was Ed, he commented, he messaged me and said, hey, he's like, Kev, you know, I'm looking at getting the early bird ticket or the VIP. Ooh, which way do you think I should go? And then I think I asked you the question back, didn't I? I said, Ed, what do you feel you should do? Something like that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up. And then what did you say?
I said, yeah, positive. I think you said it was a positive note or a negative note or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I asked, how do you feel? Hold on. Let me read this, guys. I just said, hey, the VIP is definitely the best value. It'll be incredible training. And he says, only reason I'm asking is because I'm really nervous and scared and all the crazy feelings that come along. Maybe because I'm still new at this and really haven't got much movement. I just want to get the best fit for me. So I asked him, do you think those feelings are signs of something positive or negative? He said, good question. But now that you mentioned it, I think maybe positive. Maybe I feel this way not because I'm not on y'all guys' level, but I see if there's more VIP tickets, fuck it. I mean, I definitely want to grow and have what y'all guys have. So, you know, my message to him was, hey, Ed, I believe you're right. Nervousness is not fear.
Right.
It's the excitement of something new disguised as fear. Faith over fear is how we make breakthroughs in life. You did it before when you got started and grabbed your trifecta. This is similar. Let's do it. And then he says, done. I got my VIP ticket. And he just took action.
Oh yeah.
Ed, and that's why I know. That's why I know you're going to be successful. I know it is because you're willing to side on faith instead of fear, and just take action. So, bravo, man! I can't wait to see you in Vegas.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited. Can't wait to meet all you guys. And,
hey, for VIP, remember you gotta bring something nice to wear for the Versace VIP party.
I was gonna wear all my cowboy stuff. I'm from Texas, baby.
Hey, sure, that'll do. That'll do. Awesome, brother. So,
thank you.
I think that there's some really good, some great deep lessons, so far that we talked about, and the key here is that you got to do what's good for you. But good for you doesn't mean comfort, right? Good for you doesn't mean status quo. We can justify whatever we want to ourselves. I believe that one of the most important skills for us to learn as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as business people, is be able to step back and look at the big picture and look at, is what we are doing, does it have our end in mind? That goal, that dream, that intent that you have for the year 2018 and beyond, is what you're doing helping you to get there? And the clearer you get on the process, the more awareness you have over the circumstances and over your intent and the values and the alignment, then the picture of what you need to do becomes much more clear. Does anybody still struggle with identifying what their end goal is, what their intent is?
That's coming slow for me, because I mean, I've talked lots about how I had just stopped dreaming, over the course of life. I'm in my 40s now, so it's not like, when you're 20, sort of everything seems possible, everything seems out there. And I knew I didn't want to have kids. I knew I didn't, marriage wasn't at the top of my priority list. And that's sort of what everybody around me was doing. And so I just kind of quit dreaming. I didn't know what else to do. And so it's slow coming for me, for sure. It's little bits and pieces are starting to pop up, though.
So that's great, though. That's progress, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so, yeah, I'm happy, for sure.
Well, Chris, I mean, you have evolved. You've started to spread your wings like a butterfly here, in recent months. But can you describe how or why or what these pieces are that are coming together for you? You're the first one that spoke up about it and not having the exact picture. And I think there might be some people on here or people that will watch this and be in the same situation. So, how is that evolving for you?
People talked a lot about get the magazines and cut out pictures and that kind of stuff, and that never really clicked for me. Sorry, Liz, I know we've talked about doing this soon. But I look at the pictures and I think, yes, that's pretty blue water, or yes, that's a nice boat, or whatever the case is. But it's actually been going to the events, ironically, that's the thing that's been starting to make my mind pop a little bit. And the idea of being able to go and do things, to go do stuff. And that's what I've talked about for years, is I just want to be able to do stuff. Mm-hmm. And so beyond going to the events and traveling around and that kind of stuff, because I mean, in reality, just traveling around doing GAZ events is super fun, and you get to do it, 4 or 5 times a year. If you follow all of the different events, and that's fantastic. But things like I've been hearing about concerts coming to town, and I think it would be really cool if I could go to every single concert without thinking about cost. You know, just go to anyone that grabbed my attention and not have to worry about the next day going to work or whatever the case is, but just go to every single one that I've ever wanted to. Or, you know, we've got so many members of GAZ in Kelowna. I've never been to Kelowna. I know a million people there now. I should go to Kelowna sometime. You know, different things like that, that it never occurred to me. Like I had staycations for years because I had nowhere to go. I had nothing to do, nowhere to go. So I stayed home.
Mm-hmm.
So just these little bits and pieces of, hey, you know what? This might be kind of fun. This might be kind of a cool idea. Those kinds of things. Not having to worry about, you know, if I can afford to replace my shoes when they wear out, or, you know, silly little things like that. But they're things that I'd stopped thinking about.
Well, I'll say this. You know Yan, and he lives in Kelowna.
I do know Yan.
So he was the first one.
He looks afraid when I talk about coming to visit him, though.
No, not at all. I've crashed at his place before. He's a good host.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah. So, Chris, I mean that is powerful. Starting to expand that vision. Was there a catalyst for that at all? Did you have to overcome anything? Like, was it a fear at all, or was it just clarity that you were lacking?
I think clarity for me, for the most part. I haven't really felt afraid of doing things, or if there was a fear there, it wasn't something that was in my conscious mind at all. I wasn't thinking, oh, what if? It was just, you know, who am I going to go spend time with? Who am I going to travel with? Where am I going to go? What's the purpose of me going to wherever the place might be? But yeah, clarity has been huge for me, trying to figure out exactly what I want to get out of this, and beyond not wanting to have to get up, because I generally, for the most part, I like my job. So, but it would be nice not to have to. It would be nice to have the option. And that's all it started at, was having the option of not having to work, as opposed to knowing I was going to work every single day for the rest of my life, because I knew I couldn't afford to retire. So am I going to work for the rest of my life? Am I going to be getting up 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock? And am I ever going to go anywhere? Well, I just kind of decided I'd be stuck in Western Canada for the rest of my life, because I wasn't going to go anywhere else. But now those kinds of things, I mean, look how much I've traveled in the past 10 months with you guys. I've been all over the place comparatively.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Chris. You again, inspiring. So inspiring how much you've been able to change and evolve and grow and step out of your comfort zone.
I still remember getting on my first webinar with you guys, and so I thought you were frozen because you were sitting there. Sorry. And I didn't have headphones that I could plug in, and I remember Nikki trying to get me to talk. You guys were trying to get me to talk, and I couldn't. I was too afraid to turn on the camera, and now you guys can't shut me up to save your life.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say that. Not about the shutting up, but I was gonna say that about you getting on your first Zoom, and you know how nervous and fearful you were, and you know, and here you are. That's
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you guys that we're all in different chapters, right, in this business and in our journey and life. And understand that while we all aspire for wealth and prosperity and security for our families, the most powerful thing that we have is the faces on this screen right here. The relationships that we build with each other, that is something that you, regardless of whether you make $0 or you make $1 million, the most powerful thing is going to be the relationships and the bonds and the support that we all build between each other. Like I said, as a group, math starts to compound itself. 1 + 1 = 3. And we can do amazing things because what started a year and a half ago when we started these Zooms, you know, there was like 5 people. You know, not even. It was after a year and a half ago. Or sorry, it was less than a year and a half ago. So understand that everything starts somewhere. This is our ripple effect. This is that first drop of the pebble. It's just starting to grow. It's just starting to expand. It's just starting to touch other people. So what kind of role model are we going to be for that next wave, that next ripple, and the people that are going to be touched by it? Right? Are we going to be the best versions of ourselves? You know, nobody's going to tell you that you don't have to be an Angela Dommett or Angela Carbone or a Yan Tremblay or a Chris McNeil or a Tammy Boucher or a Colin Nicky or a Jesse Garnier or a Matt Jang or a Julian Sherman. It's about you being you and being the absolute best you that you can be. That, I'm telling you right now, is going to be your greatest fulfillment. You will go, every single one of you will go on to make hundreds of thousands of dollars with us over the years, if not more. But your greatest legacy is how many people you were able to impact and influence in a way that they never would have had without you coming into their life. So have that faith in yourself, not fear in yourself, that you can make a difference, that you can have significance in a positive way, and be able to change so many other lives. And I know it becomes somewhat of a cliche term when we talk about changing lives. You know, in the network marketing industry, that's very cliche. It's very standard to say that. I firmly believe that our platform is one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to developing people. I do believe that. Mm-hmm. It's a really heavy focus, and if you stay the course, you stay committed, you stay dedicated, and stay single-minded towards those goals, it's going to happen for you guys. So that's my piece, guys. That's my piece. I'm excited to share that with you guys tonight. So I'd love to open up the floor if anybody wants to chime in on that conversation. If not, we can do an ad review. We can talk marketing. Anybody has questions? Absolutely. We want to be able to answer those questions. Anybody want to chime in? No, everybody's just spectating tonight. Come on.
Except Chris, apparently.
maybe I'll just pick on somebody. I don't know. Really? Nobody? Okay, I'm just gonna pick on somebody.
Are you willing to go over an ad? Is that what you're saying, or?
Sure.
Okay, because I've been using all the new training and the targeting, but I haven't been getting any traction. So I just started, so I don't actually have any sales or anything yet. So
no problem, Chantel.
Any advice is very helpful. But yeah, so I think I have a decent ad, and I also have a story, and I canceled the ad because I didn't get any traction, and now I'm just running the story.
Okay, so the previous ad was a video?
No, just an ad.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Sure. Why don't you share your screen, and we will take a look.
All right, cool. So this sailboat story here is a conversion ad, and I was able to do 3 different targets with this one. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I have this set up properly here so I know how to read it, but it's weird that it doesn't say amount spent here. I'm not sure why. I guess, just a total down at the bottom, but it doesn't like split it up. And so when I went to go run my second conversion ad, it was interesting because it wouldn't let me do 3 sets anymore. It would only let me do 1. So I'm not sure why, but I did follow all the instructions exactly as it was said. But you can see my story ad is just one ad.
Has anybody else run into that where it only let you duplicate it once?
Yes. Yeah, me too.
Sorry, who was that? Sorry, I can't see.
Susanna.
Oh, Susanna. Okay.
Yeah. This few past days, it did the same thing to me. It led to this one.
Okay, I've never run into that before.
It just did it to me, the most recent ad that I ran. I wonder if it's a new thing.
Who knows? You know what? Facebook. You know what they say about Facebook, right? So Chantel, let's see the ad itself.
Okay. Actually, don't know how to. Let's just click this one. Open it up. I actually don't know how to open it up from the screen.
So you're gonna have to go to your business. Just go to your business page personally.
Okay.
And everything.
Thanks everybody for letting me do this.
No problem.
So you're gonna you have to go to like your page, like your regular business page. So you're not your ad manager, like on your page personally. So if you just go to Facebook.
I can't actually get on it through Facebook because it's not connected to for some reason. I think because I run my hair salon business through it. As soon as I open the ad manager, I actually can't access any of my design house or my tribe from anything but this site. I don't know what happened.
You should be able to go to your business manager and then go to your fan page from there. I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Now, the only way I've ever been able to view it, as far as I knew, was from the app on my phone. So I'm actually not sure how to pull up the page.
Chantel, you see the flag next to the bell?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I access mine from. Yeah.
Okay.
Like you can't access your fan page at all?
No, I can access it through the Pages app on my phone, but it no longer links to my, like if I go to Chantal Pashny Facebook, I can't actually see it there anymore. Like Design House and all that used to show up, and now I can't access any of them.
Was that after you set up Business Manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of like kicked me out of there, but not sure why it's being so slow. Sorry guys, I'm not sure why my internet's down to that.
That's all right.
Okay, so this is the one that I just turned off.
Okay, I'm investment when I invest money. Okay, and sorry, what's the picture? I can't see the picture there.
Oops. Sorry.
Okay, and how much did you spend on this ad?
I think it was like $86. It ran for like 8 days.
But not with one targeting though.
Right. It was all three of the new suggested.
Oh, the Ray Higdon, Eric Worre, Miley Cyrus Pro. Okay.
Yeah. So this was I don't know, it didn't even seem to reach very many people for how many days it was running. So I'm not really too sure why the reach is so low there.
Mhm.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I tested my Lead System Pro, and I didn't get very much reach either. And I think it's because the audience is not that big. It's actually quite small. So that might be why. Like, I spent like $5 and I reached like only close to 200. I'm really not sure, but it was quite low compared to a lot of my ads.
Yeah, it's a really good ad. I'm testing Tony Robbins right now, and it's working really well for me. So I don't know if you personally know who Tony Robbins is, but I would honestly recommend targeting him if you're targeting those kind of like speakers. Like Tony Robbins, I'm getting cost per comment like under $1. So Tony Robbins works. So I recommend, like, it's a really good ad. So I would recommend trying to target Tony Robbins.
Can you go back to the ad there, Chantel? So the opening line, I am investment. That, for me, my personal perspective is, if you're targeting Ray Higdon, Eric Worre, network marketing, I'm investment. For me, it doesn't speak to me. If I'm thinking about it from a network marketing or affiliate marketing background, I'm thinking I am investment. What does that mean? Do you invest in yourself? Kind of. For me, it's not a compelling headline. The rest of the ad is pretty good. When I see the structure and the story, you're asking questions, you're providing some info here about, you watched I'm on my way there and you can be too. I personally believe that the more you ask questions that are going to make your audience think, those types of that type of ad copy is going to work better for you, because you're trying to get them thinking, okay, is this me? Versus right now, you're telling a story about yourself. Remember, they don't care about you; they care about what's in it for me. So that is something where it might be a subtle change, but it could be like, instead of I am investment, I would personally, if I ran with this ad, I'd make "Do you invest in yourself" as the headline.
Okay.
Or do you? Let's see. What are other ways to frame it?
Are you forgetting to invest in yourself?
Yeah. Do you invest in yourself? Are you willing to invest in yourself? Questions like that are going to make more sense to the audience.
Right. Yeah, you want to make them think about themselves and talk about themselves. And one of the Zooms or webinars I was watching a while back was saying that to watch how much you say you, and they suggested that if you say you too much, that Facebook flags it, that as if you're like projecting on somebody, and then they mentioned to say I and like talk from a personal perspective. So yeah, I guess I just need to like blend the two together.
So here the difference is, you are talking about yourself, but positioning the words in a way that are going to make that person think about themselves. Because when you say, when I invest in myself, my life, I appreciate what we put in and get back. When I realized I invested in self-empowerment, this amazing team of entrepreneurs, I realized I had nothing but growth and reward coming back. Why? Because I can be in alignment with my consciousness. Anything is possible. I have watched leaders and mentors in this group quit their jobs and hit 6 figures in months. I'm on my way there, and you can be too. I travel the world. So do you see what I'm saying? I'm emphasizing the I a lot, or more, but it is like, it's very prevalent in the words. So I would restructure it, I think, is taking out so much about yourself and positioning questions.
Okay, cool.
And then can you scroll down a little bit? tap this link, watch your step-by-step webinars. Okay. So does anybody else have suggestions for the ad?
I zoned out for a little second, so I apologize, but did you have the white space conversation yet?
We didn't yet. Is this, well, in the ad, this would show up differently, wouldn't it?
Well,
like it would show up with more white space?
Do you know how to add the white space in between the paragraphs, Chantel?
No, sometimes do you mean like when there's a paragraph break in between all of them?
Yeah, so that there's a bigger white space.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Facebook shrinks them. And so they're just trying to save space. So I've become the expert on this. All you do is you press space bar a whole bunch of times.
Okay.
Press enter again, press space bar a whole bunch of times, and then write your next paragraph.
Okay, tricky. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm noticing the top sentence. I'm not sure what I am investment means.
I'm just trying to use I am statements quite often, just because that's what I really do believe in the power of, just intention and stuff like that. So that's just because, yeah, you're right. It is confusing if you don't know that. It's just showing up frequently.
I'd probably put parentheses in there so it looks like it's a statement, because when I first saw that, initially I was thinking she didn't write that correctly. I was questioning the sentence versus catching what your point is. And your point is beautiful, by the way, because I do believe in that intention quite well. I'm just looking at it from somebody who may not understand this statement yet, as it looks like it's your first sentence, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what anyone else's thoughts are on that. The first thing that came to mind when I saw that was big grammar error. And now that I clarified with you what it means, I understand it, because I understand what the I am movement is and the purpose. I really do. But I don't know if our target market does yet.
So here's my suggestion. Now that I'm reading this a little bit and digesting a little bit more, Chantel, is the format of storytelling and story selling and story writing is background, struggle.
I don't see the thing here either. No.
Revelation, new path, and then call to action.
I do. That is my new one that I have out, I think, or kind of. But it's not one of my posts, so I don't know how to show you it, because it was just something that I created.
Okay.
So sorry if I can interrupt, just because I'm thinking, I'm reading your whole ad. I would love to read this as you expressing what I Am One Tribe marketing is. What does it mean to you? What's its mission statement? What's the purpose? Who is going to be in that tribe? What I'm saying is, when you're saying this story, you're saying these are the type of, maybe you're going after women and specifically, right? Maybe you're going to go after men, or both. But I would maybe even suggest putting something, what does the I Am One Tribe movement mean to you, and why does somebody want to be a part of it?
Okay.
Because I actually love the name of your marketing and your website. Your link is I Am One Tribe Marketing. That's a very powerful statement. That's a powerful brand name, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a big one to fulfill.
it is. But as I'm reading your story, you're actually in a way describing I am in many ways. But when I'm reading it as an outsider, and I have to take away my 20 years in the industry, I've got to look at this from somebody who's maybe first time ever looking at online marketing, working their job they hate, you know what I mean? Deciding whether they want to go to college or not, and they see this. This is why when Kevin highlighted like the pain point, for example, if there's not a pain point, how is somebody going to go, oh yeah, you know what, that really does suck in my life. I really like Chantel. I want to be part of this I Am One Tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt, that helps clarify, because I think it was like, my next one is a little bit more of like discussing the pain point and more of a story, where this one, I guess I was just kind of broadly targeting.
If
Okay.
this is a post in your page, it's fine. If it's a sponsored ad, this one can be improved. But I'll tell you, Chantal, you speak very well. You're on the right page. This takes time and practice. I'm not kidding. It does take practice. And I want you to actually keep this one. I want you to save this on your computer somewhere, because in 3 months from now, and 6 months, and 12 months from now, I really want you to go back to this one to see your own growth.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Chantal, what I would do, like just so you have a frame of reference, is something like this. If I were to change this ad, I would say something like, "Are you tired of struggling?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to stop struggling? Invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself and in your life, we learn to appreciate what we put in, we get back." When I realized that I invested in self-empowerment, in this amazing community, I realized I had nothing but growth and reward coming back. Why? Because it was in alignment with my consciousness. Anything is possible. Wouldn't you agree? Ask a question. You want to create a interaction with their brain, so they are going to engage in your story writing. Wouldn't you agree? Are you tired of struggling with X? You're not having enough time, not enough money, the commute to work, whatever it is. Highlight a few pain points, potential pain points, and say, you move on to that investment is the way to go. Investment is the new path, and talk about how it is the path that you took to enlightenment and more freedom and success and on this journey. And then your call to action could just be, hey, invest in yourself. Click here. I am One Tribe Marketing. So something like that. That's very cool. Off the cuff, but that's how, if I was to use this language, how I would change it.
Yeah, that makes sense. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Do you want to show your other ad?
Am I able to show it if it's not a post? Like, can I show it from the ads manager?
I believe so. Yeah.
From ads manager, yes.
Okay. So this is it here. Do I hit edit or?
No.
You should
be able to just click it.
When I click it, it brings me here, and then it brings me here.
Yeah, try to edit it.
Yeah, I think you could click. That's editing the name.
There you go.
I wonder if it'll bring up enough of the screen here. Okay, there it is.
Scroll up a little bit. Okay. So what are your metrics on this one?
So this one has been running for a couple days, and let's just see here. It's only reached 84 people, which doesn't seem like much for something that's been out for like.
No, that's not much at all. And sorry, what's the targeting?
This was somebody new that somebody recommended for me, because I told her that my other ones weren't producing. And so she recommended, where do you see this here? Oh my goodness, I forget. I can pull up the ad and I'll look that up while.
Yeah, no worries.
Are you targeting USA?
Yeah.
Ooh. And you're from Canada or USA?
I am from Canada, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say right off the bat, I would suggest targeting Canada.
I can probably target by province, so right, I'm trying not to target my community and my like network of people, just because I feel like I have another business running here, and I just didn't really want to blur the lines, if you know what I mean.
Your success rate for 18 plus, 18 is a young age to look at a sponsored ad like this.
I know, right? I found that weird that they suggested to do 18, like it was so broad.
From what I've been seeing a lot in the community is 22 plus when,
Grant Cardone, 18. Yeah, I would definitely add Canada in there.
Yep.
You could try it. I mean, test it. You know, you're spending $15 a day.
She has for a few days now.
Chantel, $15 is more than enough to get enough data. So instead of leaving this run for 2 or 3 days and waste an extra $15-20, I would, like, your testing budget, $5 is usually good enough, but if you really want to collect enough data, $10 is good. Yeah. Because like they said, it's not about time to test, it's about how much money you've spent. So if you're spending $50 a day as your daily budget, that's more than enough to gather enough data, look at it and say, hey, is this converting or is it not? If it's not, I would change it. So could you go back to the ad for a minute?
Yeah, how do I don't know why I'm got our demographic time. I think it would be this one.
Click the arrow beside left of the word charts, I believe. Shuts it.
Open that back up. Arrow beside chart. This one?
Yeah, let's see the ad.
It just like closes it back up when I hit that edit button.
Go to your campaign tab.
Okay. So yeah, it brings it editing the ad set here, but it's not.
Oh, go into the ad set.
Go and like close this one up.
Yeah, close that, and then click US 18 plus.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I need to click edit on there.
There you go.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay, so this one, we know it's targeting Grant Cardone, 18 to 65 US. So I owned a brick and mortar business for 6 years. Okay, so when I first read it, without knowing that it was Grant Cardone, I was like, I don't know if that really is relevant. Now it is a little bit relevant, but now digital marketing. So somebody reading this, it's not clear. I don't know if anybody agrees with me there. I've owned a brick and mortar business for 6 years, period. Now, digital marketing.
Yeah. Or,
where I think I'd be more descriptive in your language, using more adjectives and being more detailed.
Okay.
You know, day in, day out, that's great. Prepare for whatever day might throw at me, but ownership has its surprises. Okay. So with Grant Cardone, you know what? It's not bad. If you targeted like business owners or let's like restaurateurs or salon owners, that might speak. So using this headline, those targets might be more relevant.
Okay.
Right, because owning a typical storefront, it's like having 10 different teenagers you live with. All with their own energies, opinions, behaviors. It's never their fault because heaven forbid it could ever hurt them. So that might be even too much description, right? If you used owning a typical storefront business is kind of like having 10 teenagers that you live with, you could probably leave that sentence right there.
Okay.
Because the more verbose you are, the more disengaged your audience could potentially become. Here I am pumping every dollar I bring right back into my business to provide an awesome place for people to work, have opportunities, and grow. Entrepreneurship has the same online marketing has the same entrepreneurial path without someone else calling you sick, putting you down, and draining your bank account. Okay, so that's a struggle. So that's great. In fact, it's the exact opposite. So you are surrounded with like-minded individuals on the same path as you, and they want nothing more than your success too. So there's incongruency here. It's your each paragraph, it seems
Jumping
like
around.
you're jumping around a little bit. The story is going from like chapter 1 to chapter 4, then chapter 2, then chapter 6. So when you're talking about online marketing, and then you get to, in fact, it's opposite. Highlight in internet marketing, you're surrounded, or in our community of online marketers, you're surrounded with like-minded individuals on the same path, and they want nothing more than your success too. Wow. So exactly what I thought owning my own store. So now you're going back to the online store. So it's jumping around too much. So remember, the complexity is going to create disengagement, and you want your audience engaged in your ad.
Okay.
So while your thoughts are like, your sentence structure is well written, your grammar is awesome, the flow of the story isn't congruent.
Okay. So start with the pain point, like capture their attention, start with the pain point, and then solve the problem, basically.
Yeah, you can provide a little background in there as well. Like you can say, hey, I own my own business for 6 years. But what I found is that I had to manage staff, I had to do payroll, I had to clean the toilets, I had to do all this other stuff. And it led me down a path that I wasn't happy with. That's when I discovered the rainbow, or that's when I had my aha moment and realized why I love being an entrepreneur. I wasn't fulfilled in that medium. So I discovered internet marketing, and wow, what a difference. Same benefits of owning your own time, controlling your own income, but not having to deal with the same headaches of, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Hey, if you're a business owner and you are facing the same struggles, you can learn exactly how we've been doing this in the link below. Register or comment, and I will reach out to you. Something like that. That's your call to action.
Okay, cool.
So I would test that. If you are going to run with this ad, I would restructure the ad copy. What's your picture for this one?
It's my face.
Okay, that's good. If you can pick something that has more color, that will stand out more.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And then at $15 a day, you should be looking at the ad metrics at the end of every 24 hours. And if it's not converting, don't waste any more money by letting it spend another $15 the next day.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, anything else you guys would add? Does anybody have any questions about what we talked about here as it relates to your own ads? Everybody's good? Yep. So Chantel, do you know what to do? Do you know what you're going to test next?
Yeah, that helps a lot for sure. And
okay.
I'm excited to just restructure it and look at it through different eyes. And it'll be fun to actually start getting leads and really having fun with the business side of it. Because right now I'm just kind of shooting in the dark, and I'm still have so much to learn.
That's okay. Hey, we were all there at some point. So here are the changes. And here's something else to think about, right? You're a business owner. You have to be congruent in your marketing. So you're targeting Grant Cardone. Your story is targeting business owners. How many 18-year-old business owners do you know?
Yeah, none.
Okay, so get rid of the 18 years old. I would go 30 plus.
Okay.
If you're targeting business owners, maybe even 35 plus. Okay, definitely add in Canada, because Canada does have great conversions, and you know what? I would even say you could test Australia with this and see what kind of what you get out of it, and just to test. We are coming out with an Australian webinar, but Australians are what I'm saying is, don't leave out those other countries, right? UK, Australia, they can convert as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm taking everything that they're saying to like, and then I'm focusing too much on do this thing, and then I'm like actually forgetting to connect with my why, like who I'm targeting and what I'm targeting. Just do it and try it and see how it goes, right?
So important, right? Because you own a business, you have a target market, you've got a niche. If you throw out marketing that is like way offside, you're not gonna get the response you want from the marketing. It's no different here online.
Right. Cool. That makes a lot of sense.
So next Thursday, let us know how it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Or chat in the chat group.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Chantel.
Thank you. I'm so happy about this.
Great. So guys, it's 8:30. The webinar for Balaj is starting right now, so we'll cut this short. We're not going to take any other questions, but I think we covered a lot today. Remember, faith over fear, rise above the noise, and let's go have a phenomenal week. So we'll talk to everybody soon.
Chantel, can you change the screen off?
Oh, yeah, right.
Off the screen share.
Stop share.
And Kevin, before we leave, do we want to show the Facebook group real fast? Because I just added a bunch of people and I don't want everyone to be confused.
Oh, you know what? Well, you know what? Because we had quite a few people leave already, so there's only 16 people here. I think we just make a post in the group once we've made those additions.
All righty.